And he let them know that after you go to the upper room and be endowed with power, he says what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to leave Jerusalem and go out to Samaria and to Judea and the uppermost parts of the world. But as he instructed the 11 disciples, he told them that what I commission you to do is to go out and to save souls. He says, but before you do that, first of all, you got to get yourself right. I see many of us, as we come this morning, we must realize that we have work to do. Now, when it comes to the church, our first task of the church is not to make the choir so great, not to have ushers around the walls, but the first task of the church that he commanded us is to win lost souls. You see, many of us forget the purpose of the church. When we think the purpose of the church is just coming and looking good and fellowship one with another, but most of us don't understand the purpose of the church is to win the lost soul. The purpose of the church is to look out among the hedges and highways and compel men and women to come unto Jesus Christ. And you see, most of us don't really compel people to get saved because we're not saved ourselves. The first thing that he taught the disciples was that you must be saved yourself. And then after the 3 years that they was with him, he taught them. He taught them how to command. He taught them how to observe. He taught them how to obey and to acknowledge some things. You see, when I begin to look at the church really don't want to evangelize. When I look at the church, we are really content with just meeting here on Sunday mornings. When I look at the church, we really are content for the mere fact that we don't go out in the streets. We don't want to go out in the hedges and highways. We don't even want to go to the convalescent home. We really just want to sit here on Sunday morning because I'm too busy to do what the Lord has asked me to do. When you look at the name of the church, the name is Mountain Grove Missionary Baptist Church. Now, if you take missionary, you'll be a Baptist church. But mission means your primary focus is to evangelize, to look out for the lost souls, to deal with lost souls. Now, if you're going to deal with somebody that's lost, you must know what it meant to be lost yourself. And for that purpose, you must have compassion. Oh, y'all don't hear me? You can't expect somebody lost to know their way like you know your way. You see, what bothers me about church folks is you can sit here Sunday after Sunday act like you holier than thou, and then when a person comes in here, maybe not dressed like you dress, maybe don't look like you look, maybe don't act like you do, and the first thing is the nose go up. Well, that's not serving the Lord. That's looking down at the Lord. What we want to do is put our arms around the Lord. Baby, I've come to help you any kind of way. Do I have any with you? You thinking evangelizing is going out and telling folks to come to the church. Evangelizing is going out and showing them the way. Well, I feel like preaching this. Not only did he tell them to save the lost, and save it yourself. Secondly, he says you must make disciples. Now, once we become saved, then he instructed us to make disciples. Do I have any witnesses? And what that means is that once I become saved, then my purpose, can I borrow you for a moment? Go ahead. He says my purpose is once I become saved, then I become a disciple. First of all, when I get saved, I've got to get around the folks that know how to say something, know what it means to be saved, know what it means to act saved, know what it means to live saved. Then once I inherit those teachings, those doctrines, and those foundations, then he says it's my job to go out and get the lost. Once I have received the lost, he says I've got to teach them how to become disciples. Y'all don't hear that? See, most of us are really stagnated because we're debating whether right now we're disciples or